So Assassin's Shadows is dropping its new title update 1.0.5, and this time it's not just bug fixes or minor tweaks. We're talking full-blown content additions, gameplay overhauls, and a horror crossover that honestly I did not see coming. Now, whether you dipped out after launch or you're knee-deep in feudal Japan still, this update is a bit of a game changer, so let's break it down in detail. Now first off, I just want to apologise for my voice. I am a little bit sick, but I still wanted to get this video out to you guys, so that's why I'm sounding a little bit nasally and just a little bit crap. But let's start off with something that should have been free for everyone at the beginning of the game, and that is the pre-order bonus quest Thrown to the Dogs. Now if you've already beaten the early game quest From Spark to Flame, you can now head to the Tennoji Temple near Osaka and trigger this new mission. This quest is more than just a checkbox though for completionists. It introduces Tsukimaru, a fiercely loyal dog who becomes a playable part of your hideout. The emotional hook is surprisingly deep, and you help avenge Tsukimaru's fallen master, and the reward, you don't just gain an ally, you gain a pet who stays with you in your hideout. It has a nice little emotional element to the game and this quest, and as mentioned previously, this quest was free if you pre-ordered the game, so now it's good to see Ubisoft just chucking it straight in there. And now here's the curveball that no one expected, a full crossover with Dead by Daylight. Yes, that Dead by Daylight, the 4v1 horror survival game, and somehow it really works. In this limited time event, villagers start mysteriously vanishing in Harima. Naoe suspects a supernatural force is at play, and she's not wrong. The mission feels like a stealth horror mini campaign. Dim lighting, creepy audio design, and a formidable new enemy that leans hard into the unknown. This isn't just a quest, it's a tonal shift. Once completed, you can earn a couple of rewards, but that's not the big draw. The real gem here is the Dead by Daylight inspired cosmetic pack, outfits, weapons, and yes, Maurice the horse. He's as ridiculous as he is glorious, and as you can tell by the gameplay on your screen, you go from being the hunter to the hunted. Now this is something that I really did love to see when it was first announced within Assassin's Creed Shadows, and hopefully down the line Ubisoft can come up with some pretty cool and unique collaborations with other games and other companies. I mean, who wouldn't love some more anime inspired crossovers? I'm thinking Dragon Ball Z, I'm thinking Pokemon. Imagine how mad that would be. I know Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed is very grounded, but just imagine going out into the open world, finding a little mouse, going to touch it, and then it electrocutes you. I mean, to me, that sounds funny as fuck, and it's something that I would love to see in the game. I'm talking about more anime type crossovers, not going to stroke an animal and getting killed for it. Then we move more into the overhauls and bug fixes, and the main one is the parkour overhaul. Parkour has always been the core to Assassin's Creed within its DNA, and in Shadows it launched feeling a little bit clunky, but still an improvement over Mirage and Valhalla. Ubisoft are finally starting to course correct that, and first they're bringing us the sprint toggle lock. Now when you sprint and start climbing, the game no longer drops your momentum because you happen to press parkour up or parkour down, or the B or square or whatever button it is you have assigned to that. This is a tiny change, but it dramatically improves the flow of gameplay and being able to free run and parkour around cities. The second is they're adding a vertical jump. You can now leap straight up and grab overhangs. This really does eliminate the awkward vertical wall runs and makes climbing feel a lot more responsive, giving players the option to do what they want with their jumps. It's really cool, and I'm glad they're actually adding it to the game. And finally, we are getting back and side ejects. These were previously inconsistent and prone to get a new stuck or falling and just back ejecting further down, which is not something we wanted. Now they're extended, smoother, and more animation rich, especially with Naoe. She now has custom side ejects that let her stay elevated for longer, giving veteran players more strategic options, which you can see by the clips on your screen. And we're also getting a photo mode revamp. Now let's be honest, right? Assassin's Creed Shadows is one of the most visually stunning games that we've got from Assassin's Creed title, or within 2025 in total. The new photo mode proves that Ubisoft knows this too. Now this isn't just filters and field of view tweaks. You can now change the time of day, toggle headgear on and off, cycle poses and expressions, even play in-game music while editing your shot. There's a new sticker colorization feature and customizable features you can save. Even more useful though, you can reset individual settings without starting over, control camera speed, and on the PC you can go full screen. Now all of this does make capturing feudal Japan a lot more fun and easier for players. However, a couple couple of these things should have been at photo mode at launch. I mean, let's talk about the poses, expressions, time of day, and toggle headgear. Again, time of day should have just been a thing that was added in the beginning of the game when it launched, something that maybe was a bit of an oversight whilst they're trying to launch it. However, I'm glad they're adding it back now. But again, toggle headgear, I don't know how game development goes. I don't know how difficult or easy it is to make something like this and add it into the game. However, being able to toggle your hat on or off, your helmet, or any type of gear should have been in the game at launch. Again, glad they're adding it now. Before future titles, maybe Ubisoft can learn from what players want and give us this when the game releases, instead of having to wait months after. But now, let's talk about bug fixes, and it's Ubisoft, so there's quite a lot. For instance, players randomly spawn at level 60 with all objectives completed. That sounds great, right? Until you realise you half missed the story. That's patched. There was the infamous Kashume won't die because she's just swimming bug. This quest broke pretty much everything because she wouldn't leave the water. Now she finally comes ashore and the quest is completable. They also fixed the game thinking you killed civilians when you didn't, Hattori Hanzo ignoring your existence in Wolves and Foxes, and the game crashing during Temple of the Horsemen. Now, Ubisoft has also taken aim at the money and the economy within the game, and I feel like this one might split the player base because we all want to know good ways to get money quickly. However, previously it was easy to grind money with Samurai Daishu or Ronin builds, and you can just buy out merchants. Now the material and hideout resources and their prices are higher, and merchants offer less per season. However, contracts now give you more money, nudging players to explore and engage with the world instead of farming shops. It's a smart fix that rewards immersion over grinding, but it does slow down progression for players who prefer a merchant heavy route and just looting and selling gear. I'm not a fan of this. As someone that would just love to go through the game, get the upgrades as quickly as possible and complete the story before doing any of this real cool exploration stuff, I would prefer to have it as the old route where you could just grind these castles and enemies and just get the loot and sell it. Ubisoft, please kind of revert that a little bit. Personally, I'm not a fan of the new sort of features you're giving us. Let's revert it back, please, and thank you. So where does this entire update really leave us? It didn't give us just fixes, it sort of redefined what post-launch support should look like. We've got a major content drop and collaboration with Dead by Daylight. We've got tighter mechanics, better visuals, and improvements within the overall game. Now, I know some of you may have stepped away from the game after launch, but now is sort of the perfect time to jump back in. You get free content, free updates, and of course, something everyone loves, the parkour is improved. Now, I personally, obviously being an AC channel, I am going to go back and play through this new Dead by Daylight DLC. It is going to be fun, it is going to be enjoyable, and I hope you guys jump back into it as well. If you have already played it, let me know your thoughts about this Dead by Daylight collaboration in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated, and of course subscribe for more Assassin's Creed content. Hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.